Hello. Look at all the people. I'm nothing if not graceful. Aww.
Hear you roar.
Hear me roar. Girls' Weekend. That's right. Hey, how's it been going? All you Sunday people. I know. Well, you know I'm from Jersey, right?
What exit?
172. It barely qualifies. So, who here's from Jersey? Okay, so I may date myself here a little bit, but when I was in school, you fell into one of two categories. You either Bon Jovi or Bruce. Okay, so it's more Bon Jovi. Or was that Bruce? Or was that Boo? Oh, okay. It's like, wow, that's harsh. I was Bon Jovi, big hair, Trans Am. Still am. Actually, it was a Firebird. So yeah, I'm so excited to be here, and I hope we have some, I can't see a thing, but I'm hoping we have some super challenging questions. Where should we start? I can't tell. Somebody wave really big so I can see which way. Over here, okay. Hi.
Hi. I wanted to know, what do you think how Mary would feel if she came back and John Winchester was waiting for her?
You mean, had he still been alive?
Yeah.
Well, I think, conflicted. Like, super happy, but at the same time, like, now, you did what now? Did we not, my guess is, though, I've always said, well, he knew that's not what I wanted, and I'm guessing he actually didn't, because I don't think he knew I was a hunter. So, as with many husbands and wives, the men are supposed to just know. Am I wrong? Yeah. So he'd still be in trouble. But yes, I think living would have been nice.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Hey.
Hi. Did it feel weird coming back on the show after a decade?
Well, it had only been 5 years, actually. But since I was living, yes. Yes, and I had no idea how that was going to go. Was I going to be, like, new, like, post-Hunter Mary? Or was I going to go back to, because season 4, I'm watching and Mary, Amy Goodman comes up as Mary, and I'm like, watching like everyone else, I'm like, oh, they did a really good job casting her, she's phenomenal, but in any case, and then she starts punching people, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know. So when they brought me back, I was like, am I going to be like Cookie and vacuuming the bunker? Or am I going to be fighting? And I guess we know which way that went. Not so much with the cookies. But it was strange. Can someone have a word with him, please? So yeah, I mean, it was strange. I'd been on the show enough over the years to not feel like a stranger, and they're the nicest people on the planet, from every member, cast, crew, everyone. But I have to be honest, it was hard for me as an actor to find my footing, as it was for Mary to find her footing as she's back in land, because a lot of times you can like get into a character and then that's your character. Mary kept changing, like every week it was something new, and I was like, being alive, for one, that was a big change. And then having shoes, that was a big change. And real clothes. And then, feeling alienated, and then working with the British Men of Letters. And then coming back, and then being brainwashed. I mean, like, it was always something. So it was a journey.
All
We
right.
got to go on together. So a little surprised, but mostly just like, ah,
Thank you.
thank you. Hey.
Hi. If you have a chance to change one script and undo something that Mary Winchester had done in any season, what would you undo and what would you do instead?
I'm just going to go out on a limb and say you have an idea. Yes?
Well, I wouldn't have worked with the men of letters behind my son's back.
Ouch. She had reasons, damn it. So, as Mary, I wouldn't take that back. Because, I mean, hindsight is 20/20, but, and I know good intentions and all that, but they did kill a lot of bad things.
And a lot of not bad things.
I think that it would have been nice had Mary known a little bit, had she not been lied to and stuff. Like I don't think it was her fault. Like what she was presented seemed too good to be true, but the results were tangible. Let's see, what would I do differently? Not die? Yeah, that would have been helpful. I could have done without the burning. It was fun for a second. Get really good bourbon and a Bentley. I'm trying to think. I don't think making the deal was the wrong choice. Oh, they're like, oh no. Because John would have been dead, there would be no boys, so hello. I don't know. I think I would have chosen a different color car.
Okay. Thank you.
Super deep, right? Hi.
Hi. I just wanted to say I was really happy to have you back this
Thank
season.
you.
You're awesome.
Thank you.
My question is, in that scene where you know you're not looking at Dean and he's saying like I love you, I hate you, and like that very emotional scene that was hard to watch. I just want to know like your thought process that you're going through. Like I feel like I would break out into laughter, or I would break out and I would lose it. And you and Jensen held it together, and I just love that scene. Can you just talk about that, please?
Sure. Well, first of all, and I'm saying this with 100% sincerity, like that was 100% Jason. Jensen. I really had to just kind of keep a straight face, and he did it all. But what was going through my mind was the character's thoughts, which were, don't listen to this, you're happy here. And yet you know when you hear that voice going, hey, this isn't okay, you need to pay attention to what they're saying. You're like, no, I'm not, I'm good, I'm fine, I'm good. So it was that inner struggle for me that I focused on while I'm hearing all these things coming at me. And then, it's from somebody that Mary loves. So it was conflict. It was just conflict. And trying to hold it together and then not. So it's like holding on really tight and then just going, So it was a long day. But it seemed to serve its purpose.
It definitely did. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi. I was just wondering, was Mary Campbell always supposed to be a hunter, or was that something that they decided later on in seasons?
Well, as I said, like I had no idea. I was like really nice mom in a pink nightgown for 4 seasons, and then. I see you.
I closed my eyes. You weren't supposed to see me.
So when I saw the episode where it was discovered she was a hunter, I was like, oh, yeah. Now this makes sense.
I had the same reaction.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't know, and that's sort of the cool thing is all the surprises that have come along for my character, and I think all the characters really, even if they're painful, even if you don't like them, they're always well done, and they're always really a surprise. You do not see it coming. You're like, oh, I bet this is going to happen. Nope. It's always, they always outdo what you expect them to do. The writers.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
Nice shoes.
Thank you. They're pink. Hi.
Hi, my name's Michelle. I just wanted to say that I'm very happy you came back.
Thank you.
I'm so glad. I thought they needed your character to come back and have some closure. But after these deep questions, to ask you a shallow question, I loved the way they dressed Mary. I liked your wardrobe, and I wonder, like, did you have any pick at all? Did they just bring it to you and you were like, this is fine?
No, Carrie, our costume designer, is a genius. And when I showed up for my first fitting, it was jeans and flannel and t-shirts, and I was like, Winchester by Lady Dean. And it was, I was really excited. And the only thing that changed is they had boots for me that were kind of like ladies' boots, like a little heel, not high heel, but like lace up, like nice. And I was like, how about Timberlands? And she's like, okay. And she was like, no, she was actually totally down with it. And then after the first week, they were really, really hot because they had fur in them or something. And so I was like, you know what would be best? Motorcycle boots. And she's like, okay. And I'm like, and then she got me my favorite boots I've ever had in my life that I wear every episode. Unless we're in the snow. And I'm like, can I have those furry ones back? But it's evolved over time, and it's just been lots of layers, and I have never been happier in my life. Like, a lot of jobs, I'm a crying mom, other than different crying mom than on this show. Like, I'm in a suit, I'm a lawyer, I've got some rich husband I murdered. And it's always like, don't sit down, you're going to wrinkle your silk pants, or you're in a dress, or here's your stockings. I'm like, and every day I'm like, I eat my lunch in my wardrobe, I'm like, I'm wrinkled. And nobody cares. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do after this role. Like, what else can I do? Like, this is the most fun I've ever had. Like, it's a dream role, even if y'all don't like her sometimes. I don't care, I really like her. And I'm not really sure. They've ruined me forever for everything else. So we'll see.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you. Where have you two been? Oh, all right.
Hi, how are you? My question is, do you yourself feel that Mary and Sam should have had way more intimate scenes as mother and son, considering the fact that he never got to know Mary at all? Aside from that scene where he brings, Mary tea in the bunker, I felt like that was the most best intimate scene ever. But do you yourself feel like there should have been more of those between you and Sam?
Well, is that a dinosaur or a gopher? What is that? It's a prehistoric gopher. It's hilarious. Sorry, I'm listening to you. I just was like, I think the assumption is that there were more of those, just not happening that we saw on the show. You know what I mean? Because I think that the relationship that Mary and Sam have by the end of the season has grown, but the truth is he never knew her, and he knows the idea of her, which, by the way, I'm thinking she didn't really live up to. Because Mary's image is perfect, ephemeral, angel mother, and here she is human with fears and mistakes and opinions of her own and perspectives and things that are maybe not what they expect. So I don't know how close an adult son is going to be to a mother he's never known in the course of 8 months. I think that there's room for that growth now, if she ever makes it out of the alternate universe. Otherwise, it's super hard, it's super expensive to call.
I thought she was in row B.
Reception's really spotty. So, yeah, I mean, I think there's no question that the relationship with Dean was definitely the one that was focused upon, but it makes sense to me. That's the child she knew. When she left, Sam was a baby. Like, there's no, and he doesn't have any, I mean, I think he even says in the show sometimes, like, I wouldn't even know what she looks like if there weren't pictures. So, yeah. I'm glad you liked the one we got, though. And it's interesting, you're like, the one we brought you tea, I'm like, and the journal.
And the journal, yeah.
And the journal.
You were sitting at the desk reviewing
Right.
the journal, yeah.
Right. Because I forgot about the tea, I just remember the journal. So yeah. Did that answer your question?
You did, thank you.
Yeah.
Hello. I've got a two-part question for you. So we know everybody has their own heaven. We've seen
Everyone
has their own heaven.
Right.
So I'm curious what you think Mary's heaven actually looks like. You know, do you think it is that vacuuming and serving cookies with the family? Do you think it might look like something else? And what's your heaven look like?
Well, I think Mary's heaven is what we saw in that last episode. Like baby Sam giving Dean peanut butter sandwiches and pretending that she baked pie. And just waiting for Daddy to come home. And I think that she lives in that that loop. That's one of the first things Mary says when she came back was, yesterday I was in heaven with all of you, and now I'm here, and they're all gone. They make me cry. So that was her idea. Happy, like, because she didn't remember the deal with the demons, but she remembered she was a hunter. Like she didn't forget about all that stuff.
Hell.
And my heaven. It's not that different, but it's real for me. I'm at home with my family and like just chilling, and we're all sitting in the living room reading books and, you know, eating tacos. It's my happy place. Now, if that home happened to be in Anguilla, that would be okay with me too. South of France, you know. But yeah, simple. There's something I have sort of learned through all my many, many, many years of life experience. That it's the simplest things for me. Like, I don't need everything to be great. I don't need everything to be like gangbusters. I just like status quo. Like, I'm healthy. I have good food. I'm with the people I love. The people I love are happy. Like, we have what we need. And that's like, it's like smooth sailing. Because sometimes, like, when you have too much, it's exciting, but it's a lot. And when you have too little, it's challenging, obviously, for many reasons. But yeah, just enough, just to chill.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, I just have a quick question. Who's your favorite son, Sam or Dean?
The cute one.
What'd you say? Right. Who bought me a present most recently? You know, in real life, I only have one child. And I don't know. Like, I have my suspicions that when you have more than one child, you as a mother may never admit it, but I think you probably have a favorite. I don't know. Or maybe you have things, you know, it would make sense to me that you have things that you like more about one than, like, this one I love, I bond over this, but this one I bond over this. I don't know. But as far as like, I mean, if one of your children is a hellion, then they don't win. Unless you're also a hellion or you like it. I don't know. So this is the long answer of I don't know.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I would never say if I did. You would never let me hear the end of it.
Hi. I just want to start off by saying that you guys are making this the best Sweet 16 present ever. So
Happy birthday!
I was wondering, what was it like filming the scene with Keck where Mary almost killed herself? Like, did you feel the desperation in your character? Like, did you feel her sadness and stuff?
Oh, yeah, that was a rough day. It was despair. It was despair. It was loss of all hope that I have come this far, and that moment of, they cut a scene actually that I had with Tony Bevel, with Lizzie, where she brings in a tray of brandy, and she puts it down, and I reach over and I take a drink, and I go, I don't drink brandy. She's like, now you do. And I was like, and that's when the wheels started clicking, like, what is happening? And so by the time they got to that, it was me realizing, like, I'm lost, and I'm going down this hole, and I'm going to hurt people like I killed somebody. But like, so just living in that loop of despair and hopelessness, and it wasn't even sadness. It was beyond that, and it wasn't fear. It was I'd given up. Mary had given up. It's the only time in her life I think she ever gave up. And then, but I guess not fully, because she was able to, with a lot of fighting from Dean, pull out of it. She would have lived in there forever, I think.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Happy birthday.
Hi. I would quickly like to say, I think without you, I think there would be no show, aside from the British of Letters. Don't tell Murder we
I like that.
I think I personally admire your quiet resolve. I think you're amazingly beautiful and talented and gifted. And we love seeing you on screen from time to time, and we hope to see more of you next season.
Thank you. Me too.
And my question for you is very simple. If you had a free day all to yourself, what would you do and where would you go?
I'm laughing because it's so incredibly lame. I would organize my house. I'm like, find places and throw shit out. Like, that would make me so happy. I just had a conversation with my husband. I'm like, baby, I need 2 days with no distractions. I'm like, look at all this stuff. I could alphabetize it. I could clean out my closet. I mean, like, I'm not the spa girl. I get there and I'm like, how much longer are we done? Like, I'm just not, like, I have like a little bit of OCD, wants to like get in there. Like, what are all these papers? Let's do something with that. Like, that's my dream. Like, to have, I've missed my family, but like 2 weeks, oh my God. So a whole day would be my dream.
I'm very good at cleaning too.
Oh, okay, good. Come on over.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hey. Hi, Sam. Hey. So basically the series has been on for over a decade, essentially without you, except for a couple of episodes here and there. So I'm interested to see what it was like for you to come on for a whole season after 13
It was really different. I was tired. But amazing. Like, I was always, people say this, like, you guys are a family, right? And you're a family to us. And we're also a family to each other, the set and the crew. Like, it's just, they're so welcoming and helpful. And there was a lot of stuff, like, even I've been acting a long time, there's stuff I didn't know. Like, what's that thing? Like, that would be a light stand. Like, somehow I just, like, it was a different one than I was used to. but I had so much support. And when you come in just for a day or two, like you come in, you keep your head down, you do your job, and leave, and you try not to cause any ripples. You know, you try to do the best you can, but not like, it's not about you. And it still wasn't about me per se, but I felt like I was like more entrenched, and everybody helped me. Like I have a wandering problem. So we'll be in a scene, and for some reason I'll just start.
Yeah. Here's where you pushed the trio photo.
Where are you going?
So what I'm thinking is
And you'll see
maybe
scenes if you look carefully. You'll see me start, and you'll see one of them reach out and grab me.
and
Just kind of pull me back.
they'll come back out
Or
with her.
like that scene when Misha had the black stuff coming out of his mouth. We're all kneeling in front of him. And you'll
Which
see,
I assume are the
I'm here.
Jensen's hair.
You'll see his hand on my back, and he's just kind of going,
I don't know.
getting me out of the light. He's like, just. And I'm just like, thanks. So I had some help. But it was super fun. I loved every second. It was hard being away from my family in LA, but we made it work, and it was, it's as fun as everyone says. Like, it's just, we laugh, and sometimes too much, and the assistant, the AD is like, hey, Paul. But it's good. It's good. I can't wait to get back.